After Israel's re-elected Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, a group of Israeli and Palestinian parents are calling for peace, reconciliation, and tolerance. They have all lost children in fighting, and they've come to the U.S. to make their case. CCTV's Jessica Stone introduces us to two parents, one Israeli and one Palestinian.
It was my grandson's bar mitzvah 3 weeks ago, and it was so bittersweet. You know, suddenly in the middle of the whole thing, I started to cry because I thought about David and how he would have been such fun to have around.
24 hours, yes. Bereaved families at night, they don't sleep. And this became part of your personality.
Robi Damlin and Bassam Aramin were once divided by the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but grief has brought them together. Robi, an Israeli, lost her son David to a Palestinian sniper in 2002. He was active in the peace movement, but had been called back into military service as a reservist. In 2007, Bassam's 10-year-old daughter Abir was shot in the head by an Israeli soldier just outside her school. She died 2 days later. Bassam would later meet that soldier in court.
I told him that I believe that you are the victim and you are not less victim than your victim.
Take me through how you got to where you got.
You discover that there is no revenge, in fact, because you will never meet your daughter again, that's it. And there is no revenge because you will create another victim and another pain to another family.
لا نريدكم هنا.
אנחנו לא רוצים אתכם פה.
אנחנו לא רוצים אתכם פה.
That terrible pain has now united 600 Palestinian and Israeli families as the Parent Circle Families Forum. All have lost a close family member in the conflict. Now they work for reconciliation between Israelis and Palestinians, speaking to Israeli students the year before they do compulsory military service in the Israeli Defense Forces. Have you ever met a Palestinian? They ask.
It's probably nobody. And who speaks Arabic? Maybe one in the class.
This is the line in the middle.
This month, they bring their Peace Square mural to the United States, painted by grieving parents, first by Palestinian mothers in the West Bank, then by Israelis in Tel Aviv, while fighting raged in Gaza last summer.
The long-term goal that we have as an organization is to create a framework for a reconciliation process to be an integral part of a future peace agreement.
Robi worries that her goal may take longer to reach with the re-election of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Just before Israelis went to the polls, Netanyahu said a two-state solution will not happen while he's in power.
What do you both say about those who would say you're naive?
There are a lot of people who don't agree with us, and I understand them because we have the moral authority to say no more blood and no more victims because we already paid the price.
Do you believe that what you are working on now will supersede the political attempts at peace?
In our case, we decide to continue talking and acting together until our leaders from both sides follow us.
And now more than ever with the election results, we need people all over the world to recognize how important it is to support the people who are working for reconciliation on the ground. Because without it, I don't know what the future of Israel and Palestine will be.
One thing Robi and Bassam do know, it will be a future without David and without Abir. And that is hard to bear. But every time they feel tired or worn down by this process, they say they see the faces, hear the voices of their children, urging them to push on. Jessica Stone, CCTV, Washington.